All right, everybody, hey. So today, I wanted to have a quick conversation with you about whether or not these shoes are worth the price. So we're going to take a look first at these Allen Edmonds Waldens. The list price on these back when I bought them in, gosh, that must have been 2004, 2005. Quite a few years ago, 16, 17 years ago. Or 15, 16 years ago, these were $250. Now, they were less expensive than your average Allen Edmonds because they were in what they call polished cobbler, polished calf. And these are smooth, so I think they were polished calf. Polished cobbler was like a grain, okay? And this is what they call corrected grain leather. Now, this is the old corrected grain, where it gets some really, really nasty creases in it, which you can see here. And it's just not a lot to work with. So this is part of my son's collection, which he saved from me giving to Goodwill. And he loves these shoes, wears them all the time. This is, and I just, I got tired of corrected grain, and I have a lot of shoes now, so I don't really need them. But, these are a great pair of shoes, ones that I had for a long time. Now, they are Goodyear welted, and which is unusual for a loafer, and they are super, super comfortable. They have some, they're part of the Allen Edmonds hand sewn collection, which means that the upper here is sewn by hand. This is actually manufactured back when the Rancourt plant now was owned by Allen Edmonds, and before they shipped the hand sews out to the DR. They're not worth anything, but it's just a fun fact, right? But it's an interesting shoe, right? They're great fall weather shoes. Gosh, the first time I saw a pair of these, I was a kid and I were going golfing, and he pulled out a pair of like really, really ratty old loafers out of his trunk after we were done golfing, and they were this type. And ever since then, I was kind of fascinated with Allen Edmonds pennies, and this was a pair that I got. I would say that they're almost indestructible. What happens with corrected grain, which is hard to deal with, is they get scratched. So I don't know if you can really see this well, but there's just all these little scuffs on them. It doesn't come out. Now, there are a couple things that you need to know if you have corrected grain shoes. If you use the Saphir Butte Cure line, that line is actually made to sit on top of the shoe rather than absorb into it. And so you can do a lot better with corrected grain with that particular line. But I don't use that line, so I don't have any. I've always just wiped them down with a damp cloth, maybe use a little Windex or glass cleaner, and that's it. And they've done really well. At one point I tried using Saphir Venefitor on them, and candidly I wasted it because it just does not penetrate at all. So now I just wipe them off and go. And pretty nice shoes. You look at the stitch density, and you'll see that it's typical of your Allen Edmonds. It's not very dense. Even the stitch density on the upper is not very dense. Am I going to rate this high compared to the quality of some of these other makers? No. But as Allen Edmonds go, these are just as good as all the other Allen Edmonds, and they were $150 less because they had corrected grain, and they were comfy. Extremely comfy, not like a little comfy. They were really, really comfy, and they had a lot of wear. I had these resold. They got damaged, and they sent me a brand new pair. That was probably 10 years ago, and they're still kicking. So, for what it's worth, actually that was more than 10 years ago. That was probably 14 years ago. So, really good shoes. A staple of a rotation where you want to have something that you can wear in fall weather and not have to worry about getting ruined. Not that I have problems with my shoes getting ruined anyway, but I know that that's what a lot of people think about corrected grain. And I probably, over the course of owning this pair of loafers, since they did replace it, I probably replaced the heel 5 times for every sole. So that's something to consider as well. The heels are a lot less expensive, And if you have a local person, a lot less hassle as well. So this is Wisconsin Shoe Guy. That is my 5-minute drill on whether or not these are worth the $250. And you know, you can probably pick up a pair on eBay right now for $60. And I would say that you can't really go wrong. So take care. Thanks for watching.